been like trying to get this up and running for like a couple of months now. I remember like calling Ashley and Nicole like, hey, I need help with like this really cool project that I'm trying to do, and it kind of like took off from there. Very grateful for these women because I feel like, you know, this is like their first time coming together.
Yes.
And they're different. We're all different. We come from different backgrounds, of course, different cultures, different things like that. So I think that I'm really happy to be on this journey with you guys and share this experience with you. Of course, let our viewers know about yourselves. Give them a little snippet of who you are.
I'm Nicole. I'm Ashley. And I guess you could start like talking about yourself.
My name is Ashley S. Baylor. I am a fashion vlogger and content creator. I'm trying to make it in the world of fashion, in the world of blogging. I am a 22-year-old graduate student at LIM College studying fashion marketing. I graduate in August, which is insane to me. Let's pray I get a job. And I'm all for women empowerment, women positivity, and just women uplifting one another. I think like we have enough troubles as it is. Why not empower one another?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. I love that. I'm here for that. I'm Nicole. I am 19. I'm a photographer. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a YouTube creator.
She does it all.
We all do it all. But I'm really here for like inspiring and uplifting people and just making others feel amazing about themselves and confident.
Yes.
And I think that's what we're all about, you know? That's why we're starting this. This is why we're starting it. Girl power. Let's go.
Okay, so I guess a little bit about myself. My name is Chenoah, and I'm Miss New Jersey, United States for 2018. And I am also a CEO for my very first girl empowerment program. I decided to follow my mom's footsteps and continue in her legacy after she passed away. She wanted to create a girl empowerment program, actually a white glove society, but I kind of like put a little spin on it and brought a mentoring program to light. And I am also in school for nonprofit management, and I go back to school this fall for forensic science at Pace University, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I am too. Literally, we're like on this journey together, and we just want to be able to inspire and empower young girls, women everywhere. Whoever's seeing this video or this web series, whoever's going to get this. And we hope that our stories or our experiences will kind of help shape yours when you guys are out there in the world, whether it's at school, you know, your sports or clubs, different things like that, you know. And I'm really excited because today's episode, we're going to focus on self-judgment and insecurities, which I feel like is a big thing that young girls and women face, especially when you're starting to get and to know who you are, going through those teenage years.
Definitely.
High school, that college, those experiences.
It's such a scary feeling too. Like when you're in high school, it's always so much pressure to be yourself.
It is. It's like, who am I? And then like, who do I want to be? Am I going to be the person that I want to be? Like, it's kind of scary. It's like the unknown.
It's like you are feeling like you're in this sea of uncertainty.
Yes.
That's literally how I like to describe it. And even as you get older, of course, you'll still have moments where you feel like that. Like, of course, me being only 23 years old and graduating from college, it's just like, well, what are the next steps that I'm going to take to ensure that my future is going to be bright? So how would you guys define self-judgment, and how would you guys define insecurities?
We'll start with self-judgment. I definitely think of it as an outer body experience. You are putting yourself as an outside person looking in at yourself and kind of questioning yourself and judging certain parts of yourself. That's kind of how I look at it.
I agree. I think self-judgment is when you have your self-concept of yourself, when you have this perception of yourself that you see but others don't. So if it's positive or it's negative, people may or may not see that. So depending on your outlook on who you are as a person, internally, externally, that is all determined by self-judgment and your insecurities. What are you insecure about? You know, it all ties down to that basic understanding of ourselves.
And a lot of the times we'll start off negative, like we'll pick out the negative things about ourselves that we don't like.
Always. Always.
I feel like that's something that I do a lot.
I feel like it comes natural to
And I've also, like, you have those people, excuse me, and especially your family that's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, oh my God, you're so cute. And it's just like, yeah, you guys can tell me 1,000 times a day,
but I have to prove it to myself.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, I still may be able to pick out things that I don't like about myself that other people have naturally seen that I may not like about myself, and then it got picked up on. So I think, you know, self-judgment and insecurities are those things that we tend to like hold us back from really reaching our full potential. Even with myself, like I feel like a lot of things I don't like. And people go, well, why? That makes no sense. You're crazy. And I'm just like, no. Like, it's just, that's how things are with me. So, that's all I feel.
And I think everyone has a degree of uncertainty and, like, just self-judgment. Like, we feel so bad about ourselves all the time, but we should be our own person who's hyping us up. You know, we should be like, wow, you know, we really feel good today. You know, like, speaking it to yourself, like, hey, Nicole, like, you're doing the most.
Like,
you know, like,
affirmations
just,
that bring into the
exactly.
picture. Exactly. So yeah, I want to know some things like about you guys. So like, when have you guys ever had that moment of insecurity? If you have a story that you guys want to share about
I can remember.
Oh God.
Summer camp. Summer camp, 3rd grade.
That's far back.
That was far back, and I can remember to the
But that shapes,
That's
right?
like a lot because I'm now 22 years old. However many years ago that was.
And it like
crazy.
So
it sticks with you.
Yes. And like,
exactly.
So there was this boy in summer camp. I actually think he had a crush on me, which is funny. But he used to tease me so much about my forehead and how big it was. And that was the first time I looked in the mirror and I was like, whoa, like my forehead is big. And that's when I became insecure. And to this day, it's something I'm insecure about. And I literally remember not wanting to go to summer camp. And my dad was like, why don't you want to go to summer camp? And I literally started crying. Let's just say my dad marched into summer camp with his, you know, basketball shorts and slides on. But like he was ready. He didn't want anyone picking on me, and he was upset at the fact that I literally did not want to go to summer camp about it. The summer camp did speak to the guy. He apologized publicly to me, actually, which was kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie.
So wait, they made him stand and apologize to you in front of the
everyone, which I was like, oh.
Whose idea was that?
They put me in a really awkward situation, and back then I was really introverted, and so that was like awkward. But after that, I went to summer camp every day, and I was happy that I wasn't being picked on. With that insecurity, it's like it carried all the way through.
Obviously, because you're capable of sharing that story with us now.
Exactly.
It's like I remember every detail.
Exactly.
And it's always in the back of your mind. So like anything that happens in your life, it's like, wow, if one person says something bad about you, it just sticks.
It sticks.
But if someone says something positive, it doesn't stick as much.
Whatever.
You know?
Yeah. Because I think that a lot of people, especially like in our age group, millennials, the Generation
millennials.
Z, that we're very hard on ourselves because we want to, you know, reach this goal, the personas that we see that are out there. We all know, you know, that money feeling. We're all money hungry. We all want to get there. So I think everything, the way society defines beauty, the way society defines the ideologies of it, like it's hard.
Yes.
It's like really hard. And I remember growing up, I didn't like my toes. And it wasn't even I'm so serious. And it wasn't even all of my feet. No, don't.
But me though, like you're gross. I'm sorry.
And I say that feet are like a lot of people believe feet are gross.
I know like maybe a handful of people who like I love my feet, and I'm like
why is that your favorite feature of yourself? Like why are you
But here's the thing, I feel like my feet are pretty, but my big toe is long. So it's like my feet look like little AT&T bars, like, you know, back in the day that,
what?
I think they're like surfers.
Like no one even sees feet. Okay, in the summer, but like,
I think that just made like a huge point. Like, our insecurities are so minuscule, and we like make them these big things that people don't even like
recognize, and it's like
and
you think that it's like you think that about yourself. What? I didn't even see it.
And
and it's like
then it kind kind of like, of course, your friends will see you like as you get older, and then it kind of became that thing that I was kind of picked on about, like teased about. And of course, I'm a very sensitive person.
Oh, me too.
I'm so emotional.
I'm a crybaby. I'm the biggest crybaby.
I think I cry for no reason half the time. Like, seriously. And I think that became like one of the things that people would pick on me about, and it stuck with me. Like all
me
throughout
too,
high school.
actually. Now that I think about it, and I've always been put as like the sensitive person in my family.
But am I being sensitive, or are you really just really drilling it into my mental that, okay, yeah, your feet are ugly, or like, yeah, you have that really long big toe, which, not gonna lie, it kind of runs in my family. However, it was still something I mean,
same
like
thing with the foreheads. So my whole family has big foreheads.
And it's like, this is me. Like, you know, this is how I was born. I can't reshape or remake me.
Right.
So it's just something that you then have to stop making an insecurity. You have to then have that self-acceptance, which I do now, because I think my feet are awesome. And granted, not gonna lie, my big toe comes in handy, like when I'm driving, like SpongeBob was driving. But my feet are cute. I'm telling you. So I think that was one of the things that I really had to, like, you know, just accept about myself, was the fact that like my big toe was long, and there was literally nothing I can do about it. A lot of times we often try to control the situation, and we think, and that's why I think people are doing such drastic changes to themselves, because of the things that we see and how we feel. When in general, you just have to have that acceptance. Like, yeah, I'm small, I'm skinny, I don't have like an oversized bottom, like my butt is not big, small, my big toe's a little long. You can either accept me and take me as I am, or that's all I got. Like,
go about your business.
Yeah, go about your business. Yeah. So I understand. What about you, Nicole?
Yes. For me, I definitely grew up with a speech impediment, so that kind of made me insecure over the years, and just like speaking my opinion and being myself, and just really being transparent with others. So holding that, like that having me held back, it was kind of like a setback for me, and I was just like, I didn't know my own identity, and I didn't know who I was. So speaking about it, I'm like, I don't know how to speak. Like, I don't know how to say what I want to say. But growing up and just like really being confident in my own skin, that really, and it shaped me. It really shaped me to like just own it. Like, no matter what, if you feel like bad about your toes or your forehead, it's like everyone has something. At the end of the day, I think if you recognize that someone, no matter what they went through, like they definitely had ups and downs, no matter what. Like, it's life.
That's
you know, like
exactly.
It's life.
It's golden.
And exactly. So,
and there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, growing up like that, it must have been frustrating, because like you have all of these thoughts,
right,
and you want to say it,
right,
but it's just like, and
you can't speak it,
not the way you really want to. So I know that must have, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
No, it's totally okay.
Like, and these things will feel like,
at
times will feel like they're so overwhelming, and like we cannot get past them, or you know, we can't. Because even to this day, like me and seeing everybody on social media, I'm like, oh, my butt's not that big, like that, like what can I do? And of course I'm in the gym, but that's gonna take time to build that, you know. So I think working on yourself is doable, but don't do it to the point where it causes health problems for yourself.
Exactly.
Like going to do things like getting your butt done. Of course, if that's your preference, then by all means do it, but make sure you're doing it in a healthy way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Going to the right people and different things like that. But again, that's your choice. Those are your choices and your decisions that you're making for yourself. And everyone's, of course, will always be different.
Also, like, it's about being grateful too for what you have. Because
I love that.
if you don't feel gratitude for your own body and your own health,
how do you expect anybody else to do it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because people have it worse than us, you know.
Absolutely.
I hate to say it, but like there will always be someone who has it worse. And if you put it into that perspective, like waking up every single day,
that's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
Even to wake up, that you're alive, that you're healthy, that you can eat,
that you're happy. Even if you know you got a test that you're supposed to be studying, like it's little minute things. That
we just make. And we stress about. We stress
about
absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
nothing. And it's just like, if we put that in perspective, like every single day, like we would transform our perception of ourselves and our
Yeah.
self-judgment and our insecurities.
Yeah. How did you guys do that though? Like, what steps did you take to overcome like that feeling, Ashley? Like, even though you can remember prominently, of course you may forgive someone
Yes.
you never forget, and you remember prominently about
yes.
what
Every
happened.
detail.
Exactly.
Oh no.
So, but what made you then start feeling secure
I
in
actually
yourself
like
about your looks?
looked at celebrities as inspiration, like Tyra Banks. You know, she always talks about her insecurity with her forehead, but she owns it. Owns it.
Yeah.
Like she.
And she's a model too.
Yeah,
Right?
she's a
So
model.
she's like,
So, you know, she was always my inspiration. And then you see, I see people talk about celebrities and things like that too. And like Rihanna, I love her because she just does not have a care in the world. And I feel like a lot of celebrities take their flaws and they're like, this is what it is.
And they put it on the
table.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of did. I was like, I have to start putting this on the table. I want to make a blog. I want to start opening up about certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I made a blog post recently about anxiety, and
I've read that. That was
good. Reached out to me saying they struggled from the same thing and never spoke about it because they either felt like they were going to be judged or like no one will understand them. And I was like, we have to start being more transparent with ourselves, but also like on these social media platforms, because you have so many connections that can actually be a support for you, and they're right there and you don't even know, and you feel alone when there's like a million people going through the same thing
that you're going through.
So
Exactly.
my thing was just putting everything on the table, being transparent, being confident. It was really just growing and being confident in myself. And I think it kind of happened naturally, but it was more of just me just honing in on myself and who I am and who I wanted to be. Like, I'm on this journey of self-discovery that I think is amazing, and it has made me so confident and so like in touch with who I am. And I think a big thing for me is just always being authentic and always just speaking about the good and the bad, because you never know who you're helping. You never know who you're influencing. You never know who's watching. So for me, that's part of why I was so excited about this, is because I was like, this can really help a lot of people. So for me, I would say own it. That was it.
That's it.
Owning it.
What about you?
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's just self-reflection, picking out what you can improve on. That's it. Just seeing everything that you can overcome, why it's bothering you in the first place. So, you know, just working through it, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
I think even with me, I stopped being overly sensitive, I guess, as people like to sometimes put it. And I started embracing my feet. I don't like shoes. If I could walk around barefoot, I would all day every day. Like,
But you can.
but I can't go outside like that.
Right.
Like, but I started to I had to embrace it, especially like when people started joking. It's like, okay, you're right. Like, we can joke about it. Like, that's where I got that SpongeBob joke from. Like, you know, somebody actually said that to me. Like, when you drive, you have to be like SpongeBob. So it was just like, so it was just like, you know, and then after a while, it was just like, yeah, I know. You're not telling me something that I don't know. And yeah, the self-reflection, the constantly like going over it to myself, like, this is something that I don't have to worry about. The positive affirmations, that really helps.
Oh, that helps.
I think that helps so much to overcome a lot of the things that I face insecure-wise, because even like, you can feel insecure in a lot of things, like your relationships, your friendships. I'd have moments of where I felt like, no, you can't have my best friend. Like, she's mine. So I've had those moments too. I think like a lot of us have. And that moment of not sharing. And I think that comes from a very insecure place, because you don't want to have to give up your confidant, this person, like, you know, that's just been there for you. So you can have your insecurities in friendships, and you can have even insecurities about the people that you still love. Like, if you feel insecure because you feel like the next person dresses better than you, or different things like that, like, that's something that you will have to like sit and reflect on with yourself and say to yourself, you know, like, everyone's different, everyone's created different, and these are the cards that I've been dealt. So yeah, how can I make the best of my situations now? And that's something that I think even me being at this age is what I've been struggling with, like, you know, trying to be able to cope and not feel like I can control everything. Because it's just not doable.
That is a major thing right there, and that is like, kind of what I spoke about in that blog post that I mentioned about anxiety is just feeling like you can't control everything, but you can learn to control the way you feel about yourself,
the situation,
and being just confident in yourself. I think is like the biggest takeaway. You have to get to love yourself, and also know that you're not going to be the same person a few years from now. You're going to keep evolving and keep changing, and it's up to you to make sure that you are loving the person that you're becoming.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And like you said, like Ashley said, like when she was young, she started feeling insecurity, started judging herself because someone else said something or said a comment about you
that I didn't even notice before that.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like these little things that are around us, and we start to affect our subconscious, like from the moment we were young. A lot of the board games we were playing with when we were young were things that played on our insecurities, and we had no idea. So like prime example, I had to pull some up for you guys. Nicole mentioned Pretty Princess. Yeah. And the objective of that
I love that. I still love that game. Honestly,
I don't think I've ever played that one.
Pretty Princess? Yes. I definitely had that one a lot because I remember like collecting the rings as you went along, the different color plastic rings that they had. Yeah. And literally that was the objective, to collect all the jewelry items in your color without being in possession of the deadly black ring. And the first girl to do so is crowned the Pretty Princess. So
it's a very materialistic game. It's almost like how much can you have? How much can you get? How much jewelry? Like,
and then you're the pretty princess.
Yeah.
And then so what is the other person?
Exactly, and that's literally what it says. So what it taught us, you know, the unwritten rule. Of course, this is BuzzFeed. I live on BuzzFeed.
Yes.
Shout out to BuzzFeed.
I
live on BuzzFeed.
Sponsor us, please. No, actually, like, please do it.
But like the unwritten rule must have been that all losers of the Pretty Princess automatically becomes your ugly
duckling.
Like how does that, you know what I'm saying?
So,
yeah, exactly.
That's actually awful. That also plays a role in like comparison, like you just said with friendships and comparing yourself to other people. Like that's something that, you know, has a lot to do with feeling insecure.
Exactly.
Right? But the fact that it can tie into this board game is crazy.
And then another one that I don't know if you guys played. It was by Milton Bradley, Mall Madness.
Yes, I had Mall Madness, actually.
And then you had to be the first to buy all 6 items on your shopping list and make it to the parking lot. Players move around a mini plastic mall, use cardboard credit cards and cash. We are young, learning about credit cards. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know,
I just got a credit card actually. Like a week ago.
Maybe like a couple years ago.
Yeah, like I'm only 23. I think my first credit card was Victoria's Secret. I think me being there so much, and like of course we had to wear, if you were a pink girl, you had to wear the Victoria's Secret. So it was something that you just felt like it was necessary to have. Like I work here, I need the card. So yeah, and I think that, you know, that's what it taught us, having your credit card to make a purchase, and then also have to hand over fake cash to a banker. And it's like you're learning with that game to basically be responsible for American credit card debt, but subconsciously it's like, okay, I just want to go shop. I just have to have all of these materialistic items because, you know, that's going to shape me to be this great person. Like, I need the expensive things, which you don't. You can create a great outfit, put together a really great outfit, and it doesn't have to be overly expensive.
That's what the whole concept of my blog is about. Just being affordable, but still being on trend and not feeling like you need to conform and spend a whole bunch of money like influencers can. I mean, like, if you have the money, that's great, spend it. But if you don't, you don't have to break your bank account trying to keep up.
And that's the thing, it's a feeling. You don't have to break your bank account to feel like, you know, I need to wear this so I can post this photo again. And that goes into social media and what we see on social media and how that, like, you know, that'll kind of like break us down.
And I think that's what, and I think that is the key right there, is using it as a tool, using it in a positive way, not as a way that you're going to fake a persona that, you know, it's just made up, or just pretending, not being in touch with yourself, I guess, and not being authentic and trying to pursue and like show a life that is not authentic and that is not true, and comparing it to other people and trying to be like influencers and people like that. I think it is always great to be inspired, but to try to imitate a lifestyle that is not your own kind of puts, I feel like it just sets you up for insecurity. It sets you up for self-judgment because you're always going to be in constant comparison.
I want to combat something that's kind of going to take us out of our comfort zones, and that is finding insecurities and self-judgment among race. So like me and Ashley, for example, me personally, I get jealous because you guys have like the brightest of different color eyes, like Caucasians, like, and it just pops. And I'm like, why couldn't that be me? Like, why didn't? And that's something that I had to like resonate with in myself, because you feel like, which of course I never want to do. Like, you never want to make yourself feel like you're always in competition every time you walk outside that door. And it's like, you have to find out within yourself. So I think that's something that I am very envious of you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Like blue eyes?
Blue, gray, green.
Gray!
Like, I am very, very envious of that. Like,
I've always wanted brown eyes, actually.
Seriously?
But I kind of like grew with it. I was like, okay, like starting to take pictures and things, you kind of just start to like love yourself for who you are, like, no matter what. But I always wanted brown eyes and like just like black hair. Like, I don't know, I went through like an like emo phase. Not really, not like an emo, but like I was like, black hair is kind of cute. But like on me, I would look like a ghost, and I'm so glad I didn't go through that phase. But anyways, yeah, I always wanted to like change my appearance and change like what I wore, what I did. You know, I wasn't the athletic person who was like always making those goals in soccer, like, and I was always envious of the girls who did, and like just like the appearances of others. But then when I started to really reflect and just be confident in my own skin, you know, you just have to
bring it back to the childhood and the toy topic, because when I was younger, I only wanted white Barbie dolls. I only wanted white baby dolls. When I used to play dress up, there used to be these little things, fake nails you slid on your finger, but the skin around was always white. There was not a brown skin version of it. Yeah, I remember playing dress up, and that, for me, that creates like an identity crisis at a very young age. Very young age.
Yeah, it does. And again, that's something that as you grow, and I think even with our parents, like, you know, coming into play, like, like, I wish I was kind of, not saying that my parents didn't do a great job or my mom didn't do a great job with teaching me about myself and who I am, because I do believe that they did. I feel like it could have been more of an in-depth conversation, however, about my, you know, about my cultural awareness, about who I am as a person, as an African American. I didn't necessarily start getting to that until I was in college, and I took an Africana Studies class at City Hall. So imagine up until the age of like 19, 20 years old, you're still genuinely trying to understand yourself and who you are, but society around you won't really let you. So I think growing up like that, like you said, it can cause identity crisis. Like, you see the African Americans who are like bleaching their skin and different things like that. It causes, and of course,
that's sad to me,
very
because
major.
That's who you are. That's like,
and it doesn't that you really should want to change about
No.
yourself. Yeah, I agree 100%. And I remember just growing up wishing I had lighter skin or fairer skin, and wanting,
I was the same way.
Yeah, just off of the fact that I didn't know who I was, and that society kind of made me feel like being an African American was just wrong. In a sense. So I think combating that, now that I'm at the age and I understand, and I took that class, and even now to this day, I'm like reading books, different things, trying to find out about myself. I really want to do like the ancestry test.
Oh,
yeah.
I think that's really cool. I like that.
And I think when you are
Go back to your roots.
yeah, exactly. And I think when you're more aware of yourself, that makes you stronger in who you are, and that gives you exactly. And then you start to combat that self-judgment, those insecurities, that the outside world. It's all about getting comfortable in your skin and you know, just
owning it.
I
also remember in the second grade, I had just moved from a predominantly African American community to a predominantly Hispanic community. So when I went to school, like majority of my classmates were Hispanic, and I remember asking my mom, like, am I mixed? Can I be mixed? And she was like, no, you're black. And
that's who you
another identity crisis.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be who I'm surrounded by. I'm wondering why my hair is different, why my hair is not as long. It wasn't really until high school I started being comfortable in me and just saying, I don't care who's around me. I want to be me no matter where I go.
Exactly.
And I want to celebrate me.
Yes.
Fun fact, I went to a boarding school, and it was in a predominantly white suburban.
And when
I
you
think it
said that, I was like,
white
wait, actually, you went to a
suburban
boarding
neighborhood
school?
in the smallest town, with a lot of rich people. So like that alone, I was already, coming into that. I feel like you don't really know those things about yourself until you're questioned about it. Like I came and I had cornrows in my hair. Why is your hair like that? You speak with accent. Are you from Atlanta? Like everyone thought I was from down south, and I'm like, no, I'm from New Jersey. And just have to explain certain things about you and your culture, and sometimes people just being ignorant and making a joke out of it, not even trying to educate themselves. And I got tired. I was like, I'm sick of explaining who I am.
You feel like you gotta educate
Exactly.
everybody else around you about who you are, and you really don't have to. I don't have to.
Why do you have to explain yourself to anyone?
Exactly. And that's how you feel,
I
though.
realized
You have
this
to.
is a major issue, because then I only wanted
Happened
to
in my school too.
I only wanted to hang around black people because I'm like, it's easy, it's flawless. I don't have to explain
And
why
that's where we have
they
to
get me, and you have to
you-
break out of that.
Exactly, and I feel like we get so stuck in that comfort zone, and that's when I learned to really start breaking out of that when I moved to New Jersey, because I went from public schools where they were, again, predominantly black, predominantly Hispanic, and I came to Jersey, and I came to Trenton Catholic. I came to Catholic schools, and I started experiencing all these other different people, like different Caucasians and everything mixed, and it was just like, wow. I felt like I had entered into a whole new world, and then, of course, it was high school, so of course you have your high school drama and stuff like that. So it's just like, I don't think people really think, especially when we're at that age, they don't really think.
They don't have a mind of their own. They don't have any concept of what race is, what ethnicity is. They don't really understand where people truly come from, how we're all the same and different,
and that's
at the
always
same time.
Going back to us having to educate each other, which of course it's fine, but do it in a genuine and a kind way. Don't make someone feel inferior or feel less because of the way they look, because it's reversed. Like, you got people
We are all
out here.
human.
Exactly.
We're all so diverse too.
Exactly.
Everyone
is
so
different.
different.
And of course, just because you have someone that may be the same shade of skin tone that you are, that doesn't mean what they got going on in their life is the same as what you got going on in yours.
Different struggles, different insecurities.
Exactly. And we tend to do that. We'll combat it, and we'll look at other people and say, oh, like, their life's perfect, and I wish I was just like
that. I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Like this perfect picture. And it's like, no one posts about their down days. No one posts about,
you don't.
the awful days that they're having.
And that's why I think that's why we compare ourselves. It's just because
it's like, well, they don't look like they're going they have anxiety or they are depressed. They look like they're living the best life
that they can be living. And I think overall, of course, we're gonna wrap up and just talk about combating these insecurities. I personally, the way I combated was just writing in my journal each day.
I love journaling.
Doing like those positive affirmations, like telling myself I am enough, or telling myself I am one with the universe, and all good things will come to me. That's my favorite. All good things will come to me when the universe allows. Like, we can't control things. So I think I had to learn to be comfortable in my skin, and I felt like my journey of pageantry, like that journey for me, really helped me find who I was, find myself. And of course, I'm still growing each and every day. I'm not perfect, and a lot of us tend to think that we are, and that's not okay. That's when the insecurities start to be, and that's when the insecurities start to rise. Give yourself credit for the things that you are doing now. Everyone is in their own lane. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own path. Comparing is the thief of joy.
Yes.
And just be you. Worry about what you got going on and not what the next person has going on. And I promise that will limit insecurities, and that will help.
Sometimes it is necessary to take breaks from social media, be in a clear space, and just really focus on you and making sure that your mental health is where it needs to be. Like, your mental health is you. Your health is you. Mental health, I think, is not stressed enough, the importance of it is just as important as your physical health. Like, take care of you. Your mindset is everything. It's going to guide who you are, who you're going to become, and your mindset will take you everywhere you need to go.
I even consider meditation, or like you said, just positive affirmations in the morning, waking up and really telling yourself how beautiful, how confident you are and will be. You know, even if it's not present, if you just say that, that has helped me.
Make yourself believe it.
Right.
Just as much as you're capable of making yourself believe those negative thoughts about yourself, make yourself believe those positives, because it's all about your vibrations and that energy that you're giving off around the world, that around you, that you're giving off into the world, and of course that's when your blessings will come. And I feel like we start getting at ourselves, like having that low point when we feel like we're not doing enough, or we see other people doing more, doing something that we wanted to do or we want to do. Thank you for watching this. If you are watching this, all of my gorgeous girls, and even for my gentleman who's watching this, you know, I feel like even they can learn something.
Absolutely.
As well. I want to thank Ashley and Nicole again for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
These are my co-chairs, so you'll be seeing them a lot more.
Yes.
And we just hope that you keep up with us. Follow us on Instagram. We'll put everything in the description box.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff.
Comment
down below
and your thoughts,
exactly,
your questions,
concerns
for what you
exactly.
need
The next episodes that you want to see on Girl Talk, and stay tuned. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.